Hello guys, my name is Amit Sani and I welcome you in this daily Hindu Lance video. In the morning these videos come, in the evening the MCQ lessons they come. Both the lessons you need to follow religiously. 2nd of November it is, and in these StudyIQ videos we are taking all these nationally and internationally important topics, which is the main syllabus for UPSC examination especially, and all other examinations are also supported here. So follow these lessons religiously. Important paid videos are available at just 159 rupees per month. You can follow them, and Pocket News app is trending on Google Play. Regarding these courses, the description is given below the video. You can call on these two numbers for all of your queries. All the solutions you will get there, and PDF you will get here on Telegram channel, which is given here on this Facebook group, and you can follow me on Instagram too. First issue: Home Ministry retains final say on EPSA in J&K Ladakh. You see, J&K is a union territory now. Ladakh is also a union territory now. No more, they are states. And the Department of Jammu and Kashmir, its name is also changed. Now it is Jammu, Kashmir or Ladakh Vibhag, or you may say Department of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh Affairs. So, state list, concurrent list, on these two lists, states, they make laws. Legislative Assembly will be there in J&K. So the law making on these lists will be there with the department and the Home Ministry there. They are gonna collaborate especially with the Defense Ministry, because in the border areas Defense Ministry's role is crucial, and some topics, some issues which will come under External Affairs Ministry, they will be left there with the Ministry, and Ministry of Home Affairs is now gonna take all the decisions there. So regarding EPSA, which is applicable in J&K since July 5th, 1990, when this militancy was on the peak, and since then this is not removed. So regarding the decision over EPSA is going to be taken by Home Ministry only. That how this is going to be executed now, because these are no more states, and they are union territories now. That's the issue. So it all started with the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act of 2019. That's the most important information, important for GS paper 2. Next, the main issue that is going on, the Pegasus spyware issue. Government now says WhatsApp did not inform government of system breach. Many controversies are rising because the NSA organization, the group, NSO group, sorry, from Israel, it says that we only sell this software to the government agencies. It helps them into tracing some elements there, and it is for their own surveillance network. So we only sell it to government officials and government agencies, not officials but agencies there. So here Indian government says that it's a system breach reported by WhatsApp. We are not involved here. So who is the culprit? Who got this authority and power in this country that they could access this spyware there? Government says WhatsApp, being an intermediary in India, is governed by our laws. Okay, intermediaries, these Facebook, WhatsApp and Messenger, all are intermediaries. So these are governed by our laws. So we have first asked them for information. But you see, government is blaming WhatsApp that it is WhatsApp's responsibility and they did not inform us. So it's a kind of a shifting of the blame totally on the WhatsApp. But in another article in the newspaper today, it is proved that it is not right. Means there are many apps available on the Google Play Store and iOS platform where NSO can take charge there, and they can use those apps which are third-party apps, and this spyware can work there. But it is all the authority of NSO, and it sells it to governments only. So who is that much powerful in India other than the government who could get this spyware there? So that's the issue. And WhatsApp did not inform the government. This is the statement by the Indian officials. What WhatsApp says? WhatsApp says that we, as CEO Mr. Will Cascard, had met Telecom and IT Minister Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad in July, and Nick Clegg, the Vice President of Global Affairs and who owns WhatsApp, he also met Mr. Prasad in September. So in July and in September month, they met him and they discussed the issue of traceability and privacy issue. But they say that we had informed the government agencies there, Indian agencies there, and they informed CERT in. It's an important body under Ministry of Electronics and IT there. So this is something which is a statement by WhatsApp that we had informed them, we had informed the International Bureau also. So it is not our mistake, and it is totally wrong to shift all the blame on WhatsApp there, because we met with the minister there, respective minister there, and we had informed them. But whom we should believe now, the government or the WhatsApp? So if the government says that WhatsApp was on mistake, then they should take action against WhatsApp. So there is no issue in taking action there if they are very much sure about that. But the issue is very complex. Why? As some opposition leaders, they also say that it's a bizarre thing that NSO sells it to government only, and the specific targets in India of this snooping, they are Dalit activists, they are human rights activists, and some politicians and some journalists. So these are selected people, and they are already at the target of the government there. Why? Because they are asking a lot of questions to the government and they are criticizing government moves. So that's the issue. And this is why, this is the clear allegation there on the government, that government was involved somewhere in this process. This is the allegation by the opposition parties there, indirectly. But we have to see how they handle this issue. And in a vague statement, even the government official said that WhatsApp informed, but it was a very technical term, and that was not a clear message to the government of India that there was some kind of a system breach there. So it's a very difficult issue and technical issue. We still lack an important cyber law there, a cyber policy there, and we are waiting for these kind of issues always. Like a lot of financial crimes are happening, a lot of data leaks are happening, and we are pushing for Aadhaar linkage, we are pushing for all the digitization there, and we are pushing for the digital payments and all, and we are not coming up with the security issues there. So these are the additional evidences that these things are not secure, and India is a very insecure country, and we lack a lot of systems there to protect our data and protect our issues there. So that's the issue. So we will discuss the article also on that. Next, automobile sector getting a boost there. If we compare the data with the September month, then it's a clear boost here. But if we compare the data with the last October, then there are no good signs, and there are declines in almost all the sales and all, and only Maruti Suzuki that has posted a good growth there. So automobile sector is very happy today. If we compare the situation in the last 2-3 months, then they are very happy, and they are saying that we are in a wait and watch position, that is it gonna stay or not, or is it just a temporary boost in the festival season, because economists had warned against a very negative phase after Diwali, and they said that we are going towards a huge slowdown phase. And in this time, this temporary boost, how much effective it is going to be, we have to see. But clearly, white goods means all these electronic appliances like the washing machine, fridge, and television sets and all, they saw a good growth of around 35% compared to last year. So that's the greatest thing. Means this recovery is there, and it's a good number. But we have to see the next few months, that is it going to stay or it is just a temporary boost. Next, women to be inducted in army by end 2021. Every year they are gonna shortlist 100 women there, and they will be inducted. So around 1700 women, military personnel, will be inducted in next 17 years. So 100 per year. This is in the CMP, Corps of Military Police. This announcement was there in PIB data a few months back, and they have started taking them, and this process will end by 2021. Next issue, Indigo. Indigo recently ordered a huge assignment there to Airbus, and they are gonna take A320 neo planes. These are family planes, and various variants are there. So it gave the biggest order there, and it was the biggest order for Airbus company from a single largest player, and it is Indigo in India. So now DGCA said that you have to replace engines on all its Pratt and Whitney powered A320 neo planes, because there are many issues, and consistently Indigo is facing these troubles with these engines, P&W engines. This is an American maker, and these engines are to be replaced now. They are going to replace many of the old fleets there. So this issue is well settled now, and they are going for a huge change there. So this is a big thing. Why? Because India's airline sector is struggling a lot. Many companies are just going to docks, and NPAs are rising. Air India is a prime example. Kingfisher is the great example there. And domestically also, Udan scheme is going on. And according to official statistics, that is going good. Udan is going good. Uday Desh Ka Aam Nagarik is going good. But this international airlines issue, that's really problematic. Even in the festival season, they did not get a boost there. So that was some information. So that's why we need to see that how it goes in the future. But that's important. Next, joblessness rises to 3 years high. A very troublesome numbers. In 3 years, it is the highest rate, 8.9% in urban areas, 8.3% in rural areas, and 8.5% in total. That's really a concerning number. And it was 6.1% between July 17 to June 18. And now the data by Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, CMIE, whose statistics are very close to reality. Always, they say that it is close to 8.9%, and this is really a horrendous number. It's really a scary number, because when it goes more than 3 to 4% to 5% in other countries like America and all, then they get scared a lot, and they say that economy is certainly going to docks, and emergency measures they need to take. But in India, nobody is caring. The situation remains the same, and the employment is not getting any boost there, and the recruitment processes, they are going according to their own typical pace, and there is no boost. Vacancies are declining. That's the reality. And here in a state like Tripura, 20% unemployment. You just imagine 20% youth is unemployed there. Unemployed means they are qualified, but they are unemployed. And in the state, a genius chief minister is there who makes these kind of comments. He said internet satellites existed during Mahabharata times. He made very bad remarks and derogatory remarks against a model there. And he said that civil engineers only should go into civil services. Mechanical engineers should not go there. On what basis he said that, we do not know. So these days we are listening a lot of arguments of this type, that gravity never helped Einstein, there was no evolution. So all these things are really concerning. Why? We want to create a knowledge economy there, and what these leaders are saying, they are running the country, and what is their demeanor, what is their approach? You just see, he said that graduates must breed cows, they should sell milk. Some other leader was saying that sell pakoras there, and that is also an unemployment. We sold a lot of auto rickshaws, so those are also employments. So if running an auto rickshaw is an employment, if selling a pakoda is an employment, if selling the milk from cows is an employment, then we should go for all these things. Why to bring this revolution there in IT sector? Why to bring this revolution in services sector, in manufacturing sector? These things are rubbish. Graduates should not run after government jobs. They should start pawn shop instead. This is the remark by the people who are running the states, who are running the countries. And in their state, the unemployment rate is 20%. That's really concerning, and we should open our eyes, and these things are never appreciable. They are really devastating for a country which is very young. 65% population is young, and we are expecting demographic dividend. But how? By selling pan or by selling milk. How we are going to get that demographic dividend? So certainly these kind of approaches are going to create a demographic disaster for sure. Next, the article of the day today. Suhasini here that talks about the 370 issue and the decisions taken regarding that and the consequences now. You see, there is a passionate effort by Indian establishment that they are sending a lot of diplomatic missions worldwide to try and contain the international fallout of the move. As yesterday we discussed the issue that India should improve the situation in Kashmir instead of improving the image of its decision making internationally. We should not manage the perception of it, we should manage the real situation. In the same manner, the writer Suhasini Heather is saying that we are sending a lot of diplomatic missions and we are showing a lot of desperation. S. Jaishankar, Minister, traveled to China, Europe and USA where he addressed 7 think tanks in 7 days and on the same issue. Security Advisor Ajit Doval and Petroleum Minister Dharmendra Pradhan, they visited West Asian countries and talked about the same issue. Our Prime Minister talked to Mr. Donald Trump and other leaders to explain this important move. Our President found that the situation in Kashmir had been put on the agenda by his hosts and he talked this issue on the Switzerland visit. Foreign Secretary is again on a mission to acknowledge these all of these diplomats there, and this message should be sent across the world there. So this whole mission is going on. The writer said that what is this need? Why this desperation we are showing there? If we have taken a great decision, we should be confident about that. Why we are selling these important arguments there, and why we are trying to convince others? It is very important to educate others about the important situation there, but whatever is happening, that is really controversial. The way these 23 European Parliament MPs were arranged by an international business broker and they were taken to Kashmir there, and the way they gave some statements and the way they were silent on some crucial questions, and selected journalists were there and selected questions were there, and then we tried to advertise it through the popular committed media there. So these things are totally visible, they are observable, and they are certainly damaging the brand India image. Because the way these things are happening, this is really concerning. External Affairs Ministry did not take any responsibility of that important visit there, and the opposition members, any leader, any diplomat, any official was not allowed to enter Jammu and Kashmir, and they were not allowed to say anything on that topic. And some MEPs were arranged by an international business broker, Mary Sharma there, and they were taken to Kashmir in a typical arrangement there, and that was very secretive there, and what they saw there, what they discussed with, we do not know, but they said something and that was according to the government's move. And we are supporting the government, but these things are really problematic, because there was European Commission, there was External Affairs Ministry, they say that it is all happening in their individual capacity. We do not know anything about that something of this sort is happening. So this manner is really problematic. Now you can see they said something favorable to the government, but what about other countries like apart from Pakistan, China, Malaysia and Turkey? They said offensive things on this decision making. Even OIC made some scathing statements, some remarks there, but that is balanced now by the Riyadh visit of our Prime Minister. So we are trying to balance things there. Means some messaging is there in favor of us, some are there against us, but desperately we are trying to balance that out. So this necessity is there, but why this necessity is there? Next, a risk of US Congress resolution after the subcommittee on human rights in South Asia hearing last month, and critical language on Kashmir detention, that was there. So that was also offensive and we totally denied that. So whatever is appreciating us, we accept that openly. Whatever tells us in a critical way, then we do not accept that. Next, international messaging on Kashmir. There is a desperation which is totally observable, and this need should not have been there, and the intensity of this need should not have been there, because the writer said that beyond its need to control the international messaging over Kashmir with more tactical diplomacy, it is necessary for the government to carefully consider the larger impact which is a fallout of this decision making. But some things are a clear violation there. First, we have internationalized this issue in the maximum possible manner today. We always oppose that. We always said that all the problems in the Kashmir are there because in the past Mr. Nehru internationalized this issue. But what's happening now means, in February Mr. Trump was claiming that I have talked to both the parties, and that was a clear evidence of a kind of a mediation there. Then again he said that Mr. Modi ji requested me to mediate on the issue. So these things happened, although they all were vanished from the popular media debates and all, and they were never taken as a discussion issue, but they happened. They were real. And now these are 23 delegates who were taken here to Kashmir. It is all internationalization of this important issue. In the past, what happened? We have to learn from the past. In the past, when militancy was at its peak, then in 1994, P.V. Narasimha Rao, he sent a high-powered delegation there. And who was on this delegation? You will be shocked to know. Opposition leader Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji was there. Now compare the situation today. Today, even the senior most leaders from the opposition parties, not a single party, from any party, they are not allowed to visit Kashmir there, as if it is something alien to them. They do not know anything about that, and they are forcefully barred from entering Kashmir there. The people are taken from the airports there. So this is really concerning. And at that time, Narasimha Rao sent opposition leader Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, JNK leader Farooq Abdullah, and one Congress leader Salman Khurshid to Geneva. Not only was the delegation successful in ensuring that Pakistan withdrew its resolution against India before the vote, but the question of a resolution at the UN did not rear its head again until this year. Means till date the issue was silent. It never appeared. But today what's happening? I'm telling you, on China's request, this issue was taken in a Security Council debate, and it became a important agenda in 50 years for the first time. Although the public statement was not there, what they discussed we do not know, but it happened. And on China's request, who is a opposer there of Indian government. So these things are problematic. Next, hyphenation with Pakistan. Everywhere we have equated the situation. Everywhere, whether it's a small platform, whether it's a big platform, everywhere we have called Pakistan's name, although we should have called, but the desperation, the intensity is really unnecessary. We could have taken robust steps there, but we are just talking on every platform, and we did some, but the way we have made this Kashmir issue a whole soul issue in the India-Pakistan international relation, that's really not up to that standard. Means it was a part of a relation there between two countries, but now it is the only thing there. That's really a change in our policy. And the India's tradition of rejection of mediation by third party, that's the problem. As I told you, Mr. Trump claimed a success in February during the Abhinandans coming back, and after that he talked about the mediation issue, that there was a request from India, from Modi ji, to mediate on the Kashmir issue, that we denied totally officially. So these things are really a problem. Trump announced that Modi ji requested for that, and Trump did not deny that issue. Although we denied that, we did not make any request, but Trump never said that this never happened. He just said, and there was no callback on that. Next, these are clear divergence from India's traditional foreign policy, And more troubling is that they are necessitated despite the fact that India has a decided upper hand over Pakistan in the international community. Pakistan's situation is the worst today. It has no authority, and there is an economic crisis going on in this country mired with a lot of problems. Terrorism issues are there. Terror groups they are supporting under pressure, and all these things are a huge issue. They're not getting any international support there, and only with the Taliban issue they are on the table with America there. So the support is not there, and we are clearly having an upper hand. So why we are showing that much desperation? We should talk about that issue, but that desperation is unnecessary there. So why this is happening? We have to introspect on that, and till date we are not able to remove all the restrictions from Kashmir. That's also a cause of concern. Next, the signals which are coming from our friends, means the countries which were supportive of India always, now some of them are criticizing India on the Kashmir situation. So that's why this is not a good sign. What India had internationally was the great image of it. We were never aggressive, and we were trusted by all the major countries like America, Australia and all. And the special arrangements in the nuclear issues were made. Why? Because India was not aggressive and they could trust India. But today, India is damaging its own image there by saying that there can be a change in the no first use policy. And this is a new India. But what kind of new India is it? Is all the things are visible there. We are becoming aggressive. And for what reason? Are we paying the right cause there? That's the issue. Why we are changing in our stand? Because there is no need of any nuclear war today, and it is not going to happen. But still, we are damaging our own image by making these kind of statements. And many experts, they have said that this is totally wrong to say, but we have said that officially because our minister Rajnath Singh ji said that there can be a change. So our image is becoming more and more aggressive. Communal issues are rising. In the Citizenship Amendment Bill, we desperately dropped the Muslim category there. So clearly a communal angle we are giving to issues, and many communal things are going on in this country. The lynching issue, although there can be many arguments against that, but majorly this is happening on a communal basis. So that's why this is a real trouble. And the way NRC is going on in Assam, and the way they are proposing it to replicate in whole country, these are all communal issues and very problematic things, and they are certainly damaging India's image there. So this issue is important for GS paper 2 especially, and social issues are also related to that, so paper 1 will be also relevant. So that's important. You should write about a evaluative comment on Kashmir decision making. That you can write there, because a lot of points are accumulated now. You should write them into points there. A lot of articles we have discussed on that issue since 5th of August. So last 3 months were very crucial, and you can make many points there. Next, the prison statistics India 2017 by NCRB is out, and they say the average occupancy rate is 115% of the capacity. In UP, the crime is rising. They have increased the number of jails, but still the occupancy is 165%. Means the strength is of 100 prisoners, but they are having 165. That's a trouble. In Chhattisgarh, 157, Delhi 151.2%, Sikkim 140. A small state like Sikkim, 140%. Means the crime is rising, and many issues are there. Like in the bail system, there are problems. The poor petty criminals, they are not able to get the bail there, because it's a well-known culture in India. Richer the person, easier is to get the bail. So that's the big reason, and unnecessary arrests are there, and magistrates are readily going for these jail trials and all. So these are some things which need review. We have to see the Tamil Nadu situation. They have made some changes there, and their prison occupancy rate is 61% only now, because besides reducing arrests, they increase the number of jails. So these are some good steps, because you see why we are discussing this thing, because the bigger issue is that there must be a reform in the accused mindset there. Our aim is not to give punishment, our aim is to bring a better society, to change their heart, to change their mind, to bring a reform in their approach of life. So that's the main aim. If that approach is not changing, if the change is not happening, reform is not happening, then we have to change our punishment ways, because punishment is not our aim. That's the issue. And we are talking about mainly the petty criminals. We are not talking about the very dire criminals there. So that's the issue, and that's why always human rights issues, concerns are there, and they are reported by human rights bodies. But we always deny that, and we do not pay attention to these recommendations, because practically we are not following that phenomena that we want to reform people. We just are giving punishments there. Even Law Commission of India in its 268th report talked about this issue, and Commission recommended that those detained for offences that come with a punishment of up to 7 years should be released on completing 1/3 of the period. And if they are having imprisonment punishment for more than 7 years, 7+, then if they have completed half of the period, then they should be released. And under trials, they should be taken to trials. There is a huge lack of judges, and this is a well-known issue. Justice J.S. Thakur, when he was CJI, he cried over that issue a lot, and even on the public platform, he became emotional over that issue, that crores are waiting for trials. These are poor people, these are not big criminals, and our system is failing them. There is no chance of improvement. Worse is that they will become bigger criminals there in those jails. There is no reform process. So that's why it's an important issue, important for GS paper 2. So this is all for today. The next article is on the same issue as I discussed, that NSO issue, the Pegasus issue, and how allegations, counter allegations are happening, why the government has tried to shift the focus to WhatsApp. It is misleading the population at large by doing so. This is the same thing. So go through the text, you will understand everything. So thanks a lot, keep watching. It was amazing.